Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Friday, March 21st. I am Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral, an auxiliary bishop of the Global Justice Institute, and the current president of the Divine Science Federation. With me today is Bishop Robert Griffin of the Global Justice Institute, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall, all of whom minister with me at Sunshine Cathedral. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about our progressive faith community and how you can be a part of it no matter where you live in the world. And if you live in South Florida, be sure to check out the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts, offering entertainment for the LGBTQ+ community to benefit the LGBTQ+ community. Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world. In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots Magazine, the 5th anniversary of Queer News Tonight, with nearly 10,000 stories and 10 million views in 2024. We will produce the 25th anniversary of Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June 14th, Diversity Pride in August, and now the near 50th anniversary of Pride Fort Lauderdale in February. We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies. If you enjoy the Queer God Squad, please share this or other episodes with your friends, family, and social media communities.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Queer God Squad believes silence still equals death. Speak up for justice. In the early days of AIDS activism, one of our battle cries was silence equals death. We wanted people to talk about AIDS, to share information about safer sex, to get tested, to let partners know their status, to show up to marches and protests and vigils as we worked for recognition, compassion, and research funding. Information was power. Our stories put a face on the illness. Our sharing gave us strength, courage, comfort, and sometimes even hope. Speaking up was life-giving while silence equaled death. That remains true today. Whether we are talking about AIDS, unjust wars, which are most wars, LGBTQ rights, voting rights, bodily autonomy, the need for diversity, equity and inclusion, government outreach, police accountability, academic freedom, healthcare, or climate science. Information is still power, and silence still leads to unjust and life-harming situations. It's time to say that oppression is not a matter of religious freedom. Oppression is wrong, and religion isn't a shield to protect injustice. The religious right uses personal morality to marginalize others. A justice approach rather than a personal morality approach will allow people to make their personal moral choices without forcing those moral values on people who have equally legitimate but quite different values. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about justice. Let's talk about real freedom. Let's explore what's right rather than just what's right-wing. The time for comfortable silence is over. It is time to speak up, which is what the Queer God Squad will do right now. Amen. There's so much going on in our world that requires attention. And the attention that we give to the things in our life that are important tells us a lot about who we are. Mm-hmm. It tells us about what our values are. And we have a right. We have a right to those values. We have a right to express whatever theories that we have, but we don't have a right to trample on other people's rights. We don't have the right to deny aid to anyone who needs it. We don't have the right to dole out health care. Health care, of all things, to people. We in this country are so far behind so much of the rest of the quote-unquote free world, the Western world, when it comes to health care. We have to do better. We have to understand that there are many, many divergent thoughts and views out there, and all of them have their place within their community. But when we're sharing it with the rest of the world, no. No, we have to do what really is the just thing. And if we are followers of our brother Jesus, then we are going to do it with compassion. We are going to do it with an understanding that each of us has a right to be here, a right to do what we believe is correct, as long as it doesn't infringe on someone else's safety or someone else's rights. We got to do better. And I think that once we get past this administration, we'll know that we have to do better.
You know, all my life, although less and less now, but when I was in the Bible Belt growing up, this was a regular occurrence. Ding dong, you open up the door, and there's somebody throwing some religion at you. And you get to, and I get to close the door. If I don't, I could say leave or, come on in, let me get you some tea, whatever. Mm-hmm. That's religious freedom. Ding, 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 can I talk to you about, Jesus Christ? Nah, sure, tell me about him. Or, nah, met him, didn't make a great impression. Tell your story walking. I mean, you have choice. You have a choice. So that's your freedom, is to say whatever you want to say. And to share it. The Jehovah's Witness, Watchtower, the Mormons, always cute Mormon boys. A little short sleeve white shirt and tie, and ding, 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 and, sure, whatever. And then when I became very clear about who I am, then I was less gracious about it. But still, they had a right to say, "Hey, can I tell you the story or whatever?" Once Jehovah's Witness came, I was in college, and can we tell you this? And we'd like to invite you to Kingdom Hall, which is their church. Yeah. Give you some literature, invite you to come to worship with us at Kingdom Hall. And I said, well, I've got a church. I go to St. Michael's Episcopal Church, but I appreciate, I respect everyone's belief. So I appreciate your and whatever. Maybe I'll come visit sometime. And they got very offended. They said, "Oh, this isn't a belief. This is an opinion. This is the truth."
Ooh, gosh,
okay.
golly gee.
Wow.
At which point, I said, "Oh, well, I've got to go. They're going to start the orgy without me, so I've got to go right now." And but that's the point, is that people say, "Oh, we've got to pass this law and this prohibition and this executive order because of our freedom." You don't have freedom to be asshole. You don't have the freedom to be abusive. You don't have the freedom to make other people less free. You have the freedom to worship the way you want to worship, to invite anyone who will listen to you to worship with you, to tell people what your opinions are. That's your right. And so if I'm having, my same-sex marriage, you get to say, well, I'm not going to come because I don't believe in it. I think it's wrong. Well, I think you're a jerk, but fair enough. Stay. I didn't want you to come anyway. But that's very different than saying, okay, now we're going to pass a law that you can't get married.
Yeah.
Oh, now see, that's no. Your religion doesn't get to say, I don't get to live my life.
Yes.
Your religion gets to say that you think I'm a piece of crap. Your religion gets to say that I'm going to spend some other life in some other world, just miserable. I don't know why you'd want to believe that, but you get to. But your religion doesn't get to say that let's see, it was in the Loving case. Mm-hmm. That it was unanimously decided, where they said marriage is a fundamental right, that humans have the right to marry the person they love. I think that's true. Mm-hmm. I believe that to this day. And so, your morality is your business, but your morality shouldn't be my law.
Right.
And so we do need to speak up about that. We need to say that more and more. Being nice and being quiet. Nope. You got to stand up and speak. Yep. There's a saying in the airport at Heathrow Airport in London, and they say it all the time. It's signs, and they say it over the intercom. See it, say it, sort it. If you see something, tell somebody, and get this worked out right away. And same thing. If you see or hear or know about injustice, even if it's in the name of morality, in the name of religion, say something. Say something about it. And don't let people say that saying something isn't enough. Yes, some people do a lot more. Some people are going to take to the streets, and some people are going to go lobby Congress, and some people are going to, sell their house and give all the money to a cause. Some people are going to do a lot of things. But if all you can do is post something on social media, if all you can do is sign a petition, or if the only thing you can do is tell your mother, "Ma, I think that's wrong," do what you can.
That's right.
Do what you can. drops will fill the bucket more slowly than a pour, but it will still eventually fill the bucket. Do what you can, and don't let someone tell you that you shouldn't do what you can because it's not enough. Well, no, nothing's enough. But if everyone does what they can,
Yes.
then collectively is when things get done. So if all you can do is post something on social media and tell your friends you don't appreciate their opinion about something, do that. Do that.
Yep, yep. I think we're kind of in an act up moment right now. I think that it's really time when you see oppression, when you see injustice, to say something, to call it out. It's time. Silence equals death. I mean, that took me back to a really like a not good time. But the analogy is there. This is our act up moment. We got to say something. We got to do something. If you see injustice, say something or do something about it.
Yeah. You know, I've been HIV positive from about 1987, before there was meds and everything. And so when I hear the, silence equals death, I might go to the old hymn and the chants of, act up, fight back, act up, fight back, fight AIDS. And now my chant really is just resist, resist, resist. And it is kind of like you said, we're at an act out moment again, or act up moment. And we really do need to call things out. Now, I was trying to find my phone quickly because I posted this earlier, someone posted it, and like you said, post. But the post says, if I were to remain silent, I'll be guilty of complacency.
Yeah.
Albert Einstein.
Yep.
And so I'm thinking, you know what? We cannot afford to be silent on any issue today.
That's right.
If you agree with it, speak up. If you disagree with it, speak out against it. The tides are working almost against us daily. And we just have to find that inner strength within ourselves that, I'm just not going to let you say that. I love how Maya Angelou said one time, something was going on, and she just kind of said, you don't get to say that in my presence.
Yeah.
You don't get to do that in my presence. You don't get to do that in my country. And I think we have to just amplify that up just a little bit more, and amplify others up who, when they say something, that we come out and we support them if they're fighting for justice, if they're fighting for all these things that we all can get on board with. So it's time to ramp it up. I think for many, and I'm just gonna call some of y'all out, in the pulpits, in politics, and various areas where your voices are needed, you need to speak up, or you need to speak up a little bit more and call it out.
Yep.
And I can't say anything because I don't want to be political. Not speaking is also political.
Yes, it is.
You are going to be making political decisions. So are you going to do it intentionally in a way that matters? Of course you can't endorse candidates. Of course your church can't give money to a campaign. We know that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But wrong is wrong. And you get to say it is wrong to mass deport people.
Right.
You get to say it's wrong to take rights away from people. A woman had a right to choose one day and the next day she didn't. You can't take rights away. That's wrong. That's not political. That's human.
Right and wrong.
And when you don't say anything, you're saying, I'm okay with this. You're still saying something.
Yep.
So that's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. I remember growing up in the South, rural South, everyone, not Episcopalians and Catholics and Lutherans, but all those other, which was the great majority, Baptists and Assembly of God and Church of Christ, they had their witnessing or visitation, they would call it. So I feel like the Baptist church, like Monday night was visitation night or whatever, and then we'd actually go out and knock on doors. It might be the people who couldn't get to church because of health issues. It might be people who'd never been to church. It might be the town squeeze or whatever. And they would just go and witness. And some people were uncomfortable with that. Some people are introverts. Some people are shy. It's like, I don't want to go knock on a stranger's door and tell them nothing. But they made allowances for that. So, well, that's when you can put your bumper sticker on your car. I love Jesus.
Something.
Or that's when your neighbor sees you going to church every Sunday morning, and every Sunday night, and every Wednesday night, and every Thursday night. And then, where do you go all the time? And you tell them, well, I'm going to my church. That your witness can be silent. In fact, the Unitarian Universalists, they used to all have signs. And on the signs would be some saying, and they called it their silent witness or their silent sermon. And so you can do, but that play, I think evangelizing is obnoxious and sometimes even cruel. But I take that plan. Okay, not everyone can stand up in front of a crowd and say something.
Right.
Not everyone can fly a plane and write something in the sky. Not everyone can afford a billboard that says a thing. But everyone can say something to someone.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you are being complacent. You are being complacent. So open a mouth or post something. The more you get comfortable, the more you'll do. You'll
Yep.
start looking for additions to sign. You'll start looking for things to send money to. But start with what you can.
Yep.
Say to one person, I disagree with that. I don't think that's right.
Yep.
That's not right.
Gets easier.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's somebody told me just today, you should be more concerned about saving people's souls instead of politics. And like, well, you don't know my stance on saving somebody's soul.
Right.
And
Because they got that exactly wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
And to even speak the name of Jesus, or to say Jesus loves you as you are, you can make that be as political as you want. I can make it be as pastoral as I need it to be.
There you
That's
go.
right.
And so I think, that whole thing about we can't say something because we're afraid of how political it might sound. I don't give a shit anymore. I just really don't.
Yeah.
Because guess what? They don't.
That's right. All right.
Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad.
Before we go, we want to invite you to join Sunshine Cathedral on a wonderful travel experience and help our mission for our community. Join us on the Florida AIDS Walk Pride Cruise. This unique 3-day cruise will sail from Miami on the $1 billion and ultra deluxe 170,000-ton MSC Seascape on November 2nd, 2025. The cruise is for the Florida AIDS Walk. Your participation helps 13 vital beneficiaries in our community. The cruise is an incredible value starting at just $199 and is also a fundraiser for the Sunshine Cathedral. Parties, special events, and more aboard, including special unlimited beverage and open bar with Wi-Fi for all 3 days for just $68. We invite you to join us on this amazing cruise for fun. This vital cruise for good.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that. We all are in this together.
Also remember, You are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.